Hey!
What's happening, Shan?
Mr. Mitchell.
What's going on?
You are a real bad man. How are you?
I'm alright, bro. I'm all good. How are you?
I've never seen someone looking so relaxed in fight week. Look at you. I mean, you were literally horizontal, feet up, chilling, straight up looking cool.
Just another day in the office, isn't it? Another day.
Listen, yeah, another day in the office. Listen, welcome to the Gunman Insta Live. This is a platform where we interview fighters. I interview fighters of all levels of the game. For those that do not know this man, this is the slick sniper who takes on the hard-hitting drum puncher, Tommy Hench, in his first fight back for a very long time on Misfits in Manchester at the Co-op Live Arena on the 18th of January. Mr. Mitchell is an exciting assassin back fighting on Misfits Pro. Welcome to the show, Mr. Mitchell. You are so super cool. Look at the state of you. You're just chilling, relaxing. Let's get into this interview. Listen, I jumped on BoxRec and I saw your boxing name is Hyper. Is that right?
That's when I was a child.
Why have they got that on there? They've done you dirty.
Yeah, that was when I was like 18, my last pro fight. That's why. I'm 34 now.
So what we going with as your boxing name now then?
Active. So it's AKHTIVE. So it's like like a Muslim brother, you call him my Ak, and then Tiv, active.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. Like that. We need to have a word with BoxRec, man. They've done you dirty there, Ty.
Yeah, you used to be. That's why when I last boxed, it was Hyper, but that's when I was 18. I'm 34 now.
Listen to this, though. They haven't just done you dirty on your fight name. Check this out. You're going to be livid when you see this, right? Livid, I tell you. Look at your profile picture.
Yeah, some boy.
That made you a white guy.
Yeah. Half black, half white. That's me.
Look at that. You look serious there. Yeah, we need to we'll have a word with him, my G. We'll have a word with him. Anyway, listen, look, you're fighting Tommy Hench on January the 18th. So what do you know about this guy? And can you tell us a little bit about the beef?
Yeah, I know Tommy well. He's I'd say, yeah, I wouldn't say he's a friend like I ring him up and I call him, but if I see him, we'll speak, we'll speak to each other. Like if it was somewhere, I'd go out my way to go and speak to him and vice versa. So we know each other. Well, I've actually reffed one of his fights, a Sunday Smoker reffed against Tom Little. I've even gone to him to London with him for him to fight other people. So yeah, like I'm cool with him. I ain't got no money towards Tommy. He's alright, and yeah, Tommy. Some people think he's Marmite. Any, I love him or him. I think he's alright, and he is what he is.
So what do you think of him as a fighter? Do you rate that brother?
The only people that are saying it's a mismatch in this shit are people that have never boxed or know nothing about boxing. He's not obviously a ex world level fighter. Of course he's not. But however, for a first fight back in 15 years, it's hard. Like, okay, cool. Think of any of the best prospects now. If any prospects are coming through with Eddie Hearn, Boxer, Frank Warren, their first pro fight back or their first pro fight, name anyone that's any of them. They're good. They're just useless. Journeymen that are in there to get knocked out. Tommy can punch. He can take a punch. He can punch, and he's gonna come for it. He's aggressive. He's bang on it. So he's not no walkover. Do you know what I mean? If I do a job on him, that doesn't devalue him at all. Do you know what I mean? It's just I'm just more talented. I've been more gifted by God. It's not up to me if I win anyway. I always say this. It's up to God who wins. I just can only train my hardest and fight the best I can.
It's a dangerous fight to come back to, and I have to give you massive credit for that. But the thing is, it's a bit of a lose-lose as well, because listen, you're expected to roll this brother over like he's the bonus ball in the national lottery. You're expected to roll him over, and if you don't roll him over, or even if you struggle badly with him, and it's not going to do you too many favors. Yeah. So it's like you have to sort of win and knock this guy out. And people don't really knock him out easy. Okay, he did get knocked out against Luke Dyson, but he come back and beat that guy. And since then, he's been on a good, rich vein of form. Are you seeing it that way, that this is a bit of a
No, it
dangerous
is. You're right.
operation?
Yeah, it's a lose-lose. Look, Luke Dyson threw a big shot, swung, caught him early. Anyone could get it with a lucky shot. If he boxed Luke Dyson 10 times, he'd beat Luke Dyson 9 times. Luke Dyson just beat him that one time. It can happen in boxing. Look, they both was in there. He threw massive swing, caught him on the button. He's a human. I think if anybody got hit with that shot, or most people got hit with that shot, it'd have had the same result. I'm under no illusion that it's a lose-lose. Like I said, if I beat him, everyone's going to be like, you should beat him. And if it's a knife fight, everyone's going to be like, oh, yeah, have you had a knife fight? Do you know what I mean? It's lose-lose. However, I know he's not an easy fight. And I've trained hard for this fight because he's no mug. I expect I will do a job on him. That's the plan, obviously. But that's not because he's not a good opponent. It's just because I've trained most of my life. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, listen, you are a heavy favourite. I'm going to say it. I know you're saying it's close and that, and playing it down a little and sitting on the fence like you're Ron Seal paint protector, but I'm not having it. You are the favourite in this fight. The fans some fans, I should say, think it's a mismatch. Some people think that you should run through him. You've been in the ring with the likes of Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, the Fury brothers. Like, you've been sparring top quality guys that are much better than Tommy Hench. Hench is a good fighter, but you've been in with world class operators, and by all accounts, you do well. You're like the boogeyman. you know what I mean? So,
I do all right. Yeah, I do all right.
You're expected to you're expected to stop him. Does that bring that pressure for you though?
Do you know what it is? I think because all the champions that I've sparred have said really good things about me, it's like people are going to think I'm like a superhuman, and I don't know what they expect me to do. I'm just a guy that throws punches. You know what I mean? Like, I can only do what I can do. Obviously, the pressure's there because obviously there's a lot of anticipation, and I have built a rod for my own back. Like, if I go in there and I'm not good, but they've got to understand is I've not boxed for years. I'm not going to be my best on this fight. I need to get the ring rust stuff. I need to get my timing back. I need to get used to being in there. But I still think I'm going to fight good and do the job and look good. But I don't know what people like. I'm not superhuman. I'm not no Lemonchenko. Do you know what I mean? Like, just let me get back in there, bro. It's been a long time. People need to give me a break.
Yeah, that's absolutely brilliant. Anyone who's coming into the live, feel free to ask Mr. Mitchell any questions. I'll read out the good ones,
the
sensible ones.
I can't see anything. It's all froze my side, so I can't see anything.
You can't see me?
No, I can see you, but I can't see the questions or like how many people. It's all frozen.
I will read out the I'll read out the good questions. Get your questions in. If you're not following the Gunman, follow me. I interviewed top fighters in the game. We've had the likes of Bernard Hopkins on here. Today I've interviewed Bivol. I've interviewed JR Pataya, and it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on. So thank you so much for coming on. Now listen, is there beef with Tommy Hench? Because I think outside looking in, it looks like there's more beef than a lamb tikka masala. We've seen footage of him pushing you at. I think it was in an airport.
You seen a video of me pushing him. That's the video you saw.
Yeah, was that in an airport?
In an airport? No, I've never. It was in the gym.
Where was it? I was in a gym. There was a video that was released recently. I don't know if you're talking about the same one. And it looked like it was in an airport, and Bouncer was there.
Yeah, no, that was in a boxing gym.
I was in a gym. What happened there then?
He was meant to fight me. He was meant to fight me that day because he's running his mouth. So I said, I'll punch you, no problem. And then obviously I went. So obviously I'd gone away. I'd gone away like the week before to Mexico. And by the time I come back, I said, obviously we was already meant to fight on Sunday Smoke. I said, cool. And then while I was in Mexico, he must have been beefing with Tom Little. And as I've come back, them two are already fighting. I said, oh, fuck it, let them two fight then.
Yeah.
But then when he's come to the gym, he tried to run his mouth and get my face, so I dashed him.
So listen, look, I know you've been out of the ring. You've got a boxing pro record of 3-2, which I understand does not do justice. A few people, competitors, I should say, or of yours, will look at that and take some hope. But I know that you're a different animal, a completely different animal from the rumours and the stories that I've heard. that you're a different machine now compared to back in those days.
Look, it was.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, look, it was a long time ago. I was a teenager. I was 18, 19 when I had my last fight. And obviously I didn't train. I'd be out raving before fights, and I'd always beat them. Like I'd be way ahead in the first couple of rounds, and then I'd just gas out. Nothing in the tank because obviously I've not trained or nothing. So it's my own fault, immature, whatever. And yeah, obviously, like I'm a grown man now, and also a lot of them, it was grown men. I was a boy. These lot are like 28, 29 years old. I'm like 19. I shouldn't have been fighting them, to be honest. But like I said, look, they beat me at the end of the day. There's no what's the name. Even though I don't believe I lost one of them, I definitely beat him. But listen, on the scorecards, it said that I lost. So it is what it is. Look, I'm a man now. I've grown up. You have to take it on the chin. It's my own fault. I should have took it more seriously, and I wouldn't have him. But I always say, no one's beat me since I've been a Muslim. So that's a new one. I've been a Muslim for the past 10 years, and I ain't lost yet. So
yeah, that's beautiful. And let's be honest, the last guy you lost to was 9-1.
Yeah,
and it was a point. And it's very TKO, wasn't it?
Yeah.
TKO, but he was 9-1. Like that's quite a, you don't fight people like that in your fifth pro fight.
That one there was more, but I think more bad management because I was half fit for that fight, but I was literally a child fighting a man, and I think he just boxed in Madison Square Garden. He's an ABA champion. He was a grown man, and obviously, I think he'd knocked his last 5 out before that, or he'd stopped a lot of them on the last 5. And I dropped him in the first round, and then I smoked him for like the next few rounds. Like I was way ahead on points, gassed that. Hit with a hit, got caught, then hit with a body shot. Took and he jumped up, I was fine, and then ref called it off. I was fuming. I was like, I was actually okay. But then again, look, child fighting. Yeah. Really. What can you do?
Yeah. So listen, I've not done justice. Who have you sparred then in your time? So, I mean, I know we've seen you with Tyson Fury. I've seen photos with you with Anthony Joshua. What other sort of big names have you been working with, or have you worked with in those, in the last few years?
Tyson Fury, I've sparred fucking more than anyone. Probably I spar him more all the time. Obviously, Anthony Joshua, I sparred him. Dillian White, I've sparred a few times. Tony Bellew, I've sparred a few times. Richard Rapport, Josh Boazzi, Willie Hutchinson, Joe Joyce, Derek Chisora.
Wow.
I'm only a super middleweight, by the way. And these are all massive, so I'm only...
I know. Well, this fight's at cruiser, isn't it?
No, this fight's at light heavy.
Light heavy, isn't it? So Hench has come down a touch, isn't he?
He's had to come down a bit, yeah. I'm a super middle. I'm normally a super middle fighter, but obviously this is light heavy, yeah.
So out of those guys, that star-studded, sparring cast, who's the hardest brother that you've sparred? I think it's going to be pretty obvious, isn't it? Who's the hardest? Who gives you the hardest work?
It's a loaded question because hardest in what aspect? Who's the best? Who hits the hardest? Who's the toughest spar?
Who's hit the hardest? Who's hit you the hardest?
The only one to buzz me, I got buzzed for like a split second, was Tony Bellew. But I think the person that I'd say hits the hardest is probably, they all hit hard, either AJ or Richard Rapport.
Yeah. What's it like sparring Tyson Fury? I mean,
Tyson Fury,
and then we'll come on
the
to
best. He's like, so they might hit the hardest. Tyson Fury is the best. Tyson Fury is the only person I've ever been in the ring with that can just nullify me and make me look like when he goes defensive, I can not land a shot in the round sometimes. That's how bad it is. Like that's how gifted he is. No one else can ever do that to me ever. Most of the time, it's a 50-50 spark, very very even. And it is with Tyson. Like me and Tyson have had wars in there before. Like we've teed off on each other. But that's when it comes forward and he's having a row. But if he just goes right, I'm going defensive, and he can't hit me either really much. But then I can't hit him either. So when he goes defensive, he just nullifies each other. Yeah,
you two just swing at each other and nothing's connecting. You know what I mean? Now, big Tyson Fury announced his retirement today. Is he retired, or was that translated as fight news is pending if I get paid enough?
I think you never know when it comes to him. He don't know. It's not like he doesn't even know half the time. He means what he says. Like a lot of the time, like he's not faking it. He really means it. Then he'll just change his mind. So it's hard to tell with him. I think, look, it depends if what's it in for, because the only other reason he could fight now is for money. There's nothing like fighting Joshua could only be for money. And then obviously it's just he, in his thinking, he's thinking, okay, was it battle of the losers? Like, we're both just lost to Usyk. Like, it's not even the battle of Britain, because I thought, well, it's at least it's the battle of Britain, but it's not actually the battle of Britain, because then Dubois beat him, so you won't be the battle of Britain. You won't be the king of Britain until you beat Dubois. So they'll have to fight AJ, beat him, then fight Dubois. That's 2 fights. Then fight Dubois, and then they'll have a rematch clause. They'll have to fight him again. And I think I think he's past his best now. He hasn't got the legs, so I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Couple of fan questions quickly, because I don't want to leave people out. Who's in your corner for the fight? Chris Broughton, number 20.
My dad.
And for those that don't know, your father is Clifton, right?
Yeah, Clifton,
yeah, absolute legend in the game. Let's see, we've got another question here. It's back. You're going to love this one. Ty, what's your thoughts on AES Virgo?
She's punching for
him. The new Misfits champ.
Oh, punch is cunting for him. Do you know what it is? I've never got so many messages like I do about AES Virgo. But for years, me and him have had arguments for years, which has been going on. And I think what he tried to do was, he tried to use my name for clout. He tried to say he'll do this and do that. I think, he's never going to get on Misfits anyway. When I signed that deal for Misfits, I know he was fuming. He was livid.
Really?
And I think a lot of people don't have taken a bit of a disliking to him. So I've never had so many messages. Anyone I've ever talked about, I've never had messages like for him. And he's thinking, because he's got the belt, he calls the shots. He doesn't call no shots. Misfits call the shots, and they want to pop up. Now they want to really put some value in there.
So sorry to cut you off. So do you think he's shook because now he has to fight you? Is that what you're saying?
We'll do everything in his power not to fight me. But fair play to him. If I was him, I would as well, because I'd ice him in a round or two. He won't go long at all. I'd ice him quick. Yeah, he wouldn't go long.
Yeah. Is that a fight that has to happen?
I think it has to happen for the people. The people want it more than me.
Do you generally dislike AES Virgo?
I don't dislike anybody, bro. I generally want the best for everyone. That's the God's honest truth.
It's business.
Yeah, it's just business. I actually like Tommy a lot. Like, for example, if fighting him, I hope that he does cause a big scene and does what he needs to do and comes back. But obviously, it's just a shame that he's not gonna beat me. But hopefully, even with a loss, he's can still. Do you know what I mean? Because I want the best for him. I want the best for everyone, but I don't know. I'm getting soft in my old age. I actually want the best for people. It's just a shame that I have to put my family and my career first.
Yeah, there's always got to be a runner-up in boxing. I've got a great question from Shez Smith 91. How many fights are there in your Misfits deal?
It's not. It's more about the years, but I guess there's so many years and there's so many fights per year. But it depends, because it can go up. I can take more or less. There's a lot of variables to it. It's not just a straightforward. But I should have about 3, 4 fights. Five fights a year, between 3 and 5 fights a year.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's music to our ears. Listen, in terms of your camp, I've been watching you because I just love watching fighters anyway. And you look like you're doing Shark Tanks and like some brutal training. Have you embraced it, or has it been a bit of a wake up call that Jesus, I'm back in the big time now?
No, I've enjoyed it getting fit. Like, I've never been fit for years, properly fit. I thought I was fit, but now, like, I'm fit. I feel good. And when I feel like this, I always perform very well, because I know I can take it to a notch that I can wherever I need to take it, I can take it. It's been good, man. I've trained with my trainer, Kurt Gibbons, for a few months now. And, mate, people don't know about Kurt Gibbons, he's the closest thing we've got in England to David Goggins. The guy's a machine, bro. I've got to just say, sorry again to cut you off, he looks fantastic, that guy. Oh. And he's what, 60? He's 59, bro. Yeah, nearly 60, bro. 60? He's an absolute machine. Like, I'm in my prime. I'm fit. I'm strong. He can outrun me. He can outbench me. He can anything I do. He can do better than me. He's an absolute machine, freak of nature, shredded to the bone,
Absolutely.
thick
Yeah.
as fiddle. Yeah,
Shredded.
and he's so good. He's been so good for me. He's going to be one of the biggest reasons I win a world title. He'd be one of the biggest reasons behind it because he'll get me to that shape mentally and physically.
Is world title the goal, Ty?
Yeah.
And you know, light heavyweight is a real bad man division. Like I just said, I've just got back from Bivol and BTBF press conference. But in that mix, you've got, oh my God, even domestically.
Super middle, bro.
So you're only going to go to light heavyweight for one fight?
Yeah, I'm going back down to super middle.
Oh, you'll go back. Yeah. Okay, sorry, my man. I wasn't aware of
super
that.
Middle's
I thought you were staying.
It's an easier division. I like them up quick. Obviously, at the top, they're good. Obviously, Canelo, obviously, is amazing.
So Justice fights light heavy against Hench, and then you'll go back to 76.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. I was going to say light heavy would be, a real challenge. Super middle though is a lovely division.
Yeah.
And I certainly think you're the real deal and will go far in this game. And I think I speak for a lot of the fight fans in saying that. What's your thoughts on influencer boxing? Because a lot of people are seeing you as a misfit celebrity boxer now, and you've had to remind them multiple times, I'm a misfits pro. You're getting sick of it now, aren't you? Can you explain the difference? And,
I just I think obviously it's got a connotation to it that obviously it's influencer boxing and it has just do gimmicky stuff, but that is for the influencers and it sells because obviously it works. However, they're really trying to make a different. They're really trying to push the Misfits pro side. Because even before I signed with him, I was a bit skeptical. I was like, he's influencer boxing. I'm not an influencer. I'm a boxer. Do you know what I mean? But I'm fighting professional boxers or other boxers or pros in other sports, like say like an MMA fight is a professional or whatever.
Yeah.
That's only really this year. The next year, I'm really looking to push on the proper pro ranks and go up there. I want to be Misfits first world champion. That's the plan. And I believe that man can do that for me, put me in a position to do it.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. Yeah. But what's your actual thoughts on the bog standard influencer boxing? There's a lot of purists that hate it.
Yeah, well then don't watch it. I don't get it. Like if you don't like something, don't watch it. The other boxers, there's some other pro fighters that obviously dislike it. And they're like, well, we've trained our whole lives for this. Yeah. And then they are getting paid more than us. Well, that's your fault. Make yourself more relevant. You can't blame someone else because they're more relevant than you.
Yeah.
Or they've got a bigger audience. More people want to watch them fight than you fight. Do you know what I mean? That's not their fault. Don't be get your get a better media campaign. Yeah, do you know what I mean? That's not their fault. If there's money to be made and people want to watch them box, all these people will like to see KSI and Jake Paul fight. What are you trying to say? All these people should be deprived from watching them fight because you're not getting paid enough. Get over yourself. How self-centered. Do you know what I
mean? Mate, that's exactly the response I say. Because I go in boxing gyms all the time. I'm interviewing people all the time. And I go in amateur boxing gyms and I see some serial killers just not even fighting. Or no one knows about them. And I say, listen, this boxing is quite simple. If you can do 3 or 4 things well, you'll make money in this sport. Sell tickets, trash talk, showboat, knock people out, post some training. If you can do those things, you can do all of those things, you'll make a lot of money. If you do a few of them, do them. But a lot of the guys that are complaining aren't doing any of them, and then they're complaining that a guy with blue tick and followers is making more muns, more papers, more peas than them. So, you've got to get off your ass and make shit happen for yourself, and I completely agree with you on that. What did you make of the Jake Paul though and Mike Tyson fight? Was it good for the game or was it a complete and utter diabolical shambles?
It was hard to watch. Do you know what I mean? I think because everybody loves Mike, an old man. You could see he was a withered old man in there. I'm not buying it that Jake Paul was holding him up because he felt bad. Jake Paul was trying to knock him out early, but he couldn't. And Mike was obviously throwing shots and trying to take Jake out. Obviously, Mike's 100 years old. He's not going to be able to keep that tempo up. And then Jake's just not good enough to set the shots up. So that's the only reason Jake didn't knock him out. Because if Jake could have knocked him out, he would have. And if Mike could have caught him and his feet were quicker, he'd have caught him. Do you know what I mean? So.
It was sad to see. Now, listen, just lastly, because I'll let you go. I know it's fight week. I know you've been working hard today. I know you've been working hard the last few weeks. but I know you must be absolutely
Yeah,
shattered as well.
I've done,
But I just wanted
what's the name?
you to give me.
Sorry.
Sorry, go on.
I just finished training with my Kurt Gibbons, the one was just speaking about previously, the machine of a man. We've just finished training this morning. It was a good session, and he's got me into the best condition. And like I said earlier, he'll be the difference in my career. Whether I make a world champion or not, it'll be him. So without him, I wouldn't be where I am today. So I have to give it all the thanks. And he'll be at the fight at the fight anyway. Be in my corner as well. So for anybody that's know I am talking about, Kurt Gibbons is an absolute machine, and he's the best at what he does. And he's not good for me just physically, but mentally also. And you're going to see a lot more of him because he's going to be with me through every fight I have in my career. So I have to give him a lot of gratitude. My dad is obviously, my dad's taught me everything I know. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah. Listen, Gibbons is the definition of black does not crack.
He looks good.
That guy looks.
His age. He's a good.
Is that fair to say?
He do everything twice as many, twice as fast, twice as strong. It's just like Father Time just can't catch him. It's like he keeps running off time. Father Time that quick, bro. Yeah, love that guy, man.
Yeah, mate. He's defying the odds. That guy, that brother is like, he's a different level, different specimen, isn't he? I've just, I don't know him. I never met him. I just watch it. I love watching. I'm watching fighters and watching coaches all the time.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's just phenomenal. I mean, like, yeah, unbelievable frame on him, isn't he? Unbelievable.
Makes me look like
on the guy.
An idiot. Makes me look a fat bastard. But you know what, though? It's not even. It's not just like God given. He trains every single day. It's hard work that's got him there. Some people are naturally just shredded. He trains every day. He eats right, sleeps right. Everything about him is hard work. Nothing was given. Do you know what I mean? He trains like a demon. Very focused man. So.
Okay, just lastly before we let you go, and as I said, I want to let you rest up. I know you've been working hard. You must be absolutely shattered. I'm just going to name a few names, okay? I just want one-word answers, though, okay?
Okay.
What first thing that comes into your head when I say these names, yeah? Tyson Fury.
Legend.
Anthony Joshua.
Unit.
Chris Eubank Jr.
Boastful.
Yeah.
Arrogant.
Tommy Hench.
Nice guy.
Kareem Callas.
Soft lad.
Tom Little.
Game as a badger.
Yeah.
That's
Conor Ben.
On it.
Mr. Gibbons. Your
Legend.
coach.
Legend of a man.
Legend of a man. Yeah, brilliant. Listen, thanks so much for your time. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on. I wish you so much luck in your fight. It's going to be an absolute barnstorm. And I must admit, I'm not just saying it because you're on it, I think that fight, your fight and the main event are the two that are really standing out for me. And I think quite a lot of people are really excited to see you back in the game. Lastly, who's on your hit list? You knock out Hench. Let's just say you fold Hench up like a laptop. Rock him up, put him away. Who's your top three on your hit list?
Good question. I want Idris, bro. That's what I want next. I want him on a big card, though. I don't care, bro. I don't care. I'll smoke any of them, bro. I don't think there's no misfit pro. I think you line them all up. I'd let them tag each other in and out. I think I'd do them all on the same night. So it's as simple as that. I'm not really looking. Obviously, I want to get like some big names on their fight and whatever is like good, get it back in. My plan is to fight these big names, get back into the things with boxing, get used to being back in the ring, and then next year really just push on to world title level. That's world title. I just want to try and get on the world title ladder. That's all I'm really doing. I'll fight Darren Till, I'll fight Anthony Taylor, I'll fight any of them. Whoever's the best one, give me them.
Yeah.
And then and then the next year I'm ready. That's when I really want to push on for world title contention. That's the plan, bro.
Just very lastly, sorry, I keep coming up with, I've got another question. Your father is a really respected man in the game. How much has he been involved in skilling you up in your career? I don't want to say what does he mean to you, because I think as a father, everyone knows what your father means to you. But how much influence has he had on getting you to where you are as a fighter you are today?
100% of everything. He taught me every single thing I know. I've never had another trainer, so every skill I have or every boxing technique I have, I owe to my dad, because he taught me every single bit. So yeah, like I started training. I started boxing when I was 6. I was always in the gym when he first opened his gym, and he's done everything. He's been there for me, everything, not just in boxing, just in life. He's been there for me for everything. He's always had my back. He's always done everything he can for me, and I wanna win a world title for him, probably more than I even myself, to be honest. You know what I mean? So there you go. Just
big up Clifton Mitchell. I really like that guy, and I as I said, he's a really respected, man in the fight game. I think that's fair to say, almost an icon for the purists in the fight game. I'd say I'd go that far. He's a really good man and good fighter. He was a good fighter as well. Listen, thank you so much for your time. Go and rest up. Listen, we wish you all the best of luck. Thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate you, big man. Bless up.
See you the weekend.
Yeah, take it easy, G.